bringing you news and information from around the Pacific Command. This is your AFN Pacific Report.
Thanks for joining us on this edition of AFN Pacific Report. I'm Senior Airman Therese Garnier. Secretary of the Army John McHugh made a stop at U.S. Pacific Command in Hawaii. While there, he took the opportunity to review a unique capability that most people don't associate with soldiers. He visited the Lieutenant General William B. Bunker Army Logistics Support Vessel. McHugh spoke with 8th Theater Sustainment Command troops who explained the ship's unique mission, which includes conducting humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations throughout the Pacific. Army watercraft such as the Bunker serve a vital role in the Pacific Command's area of responsibility, which encompasses 16 time zones and includes about half the Earth's surface. Exercise Talisman Sabre is underway in the land down under. Thousands of U.S. Marines are taking part, and one of them had the chance to talk to a group of Australian Army cadets at Camp Rocky.
Every Monday night, members of the Australian Cadet Program come together on Camp Rocky to learn the basics of what it takes to be in the Australian military. During Exercise Talisman Sabre 2013, cadets had a chance to talk with a U.S. Marine from Okinawa, Japan.
First time, but the chaplain, who they call Padre, he told me to come out and speak, and I actually enjoyed myself, and I look forward to doing it again. It shows our relationship between the Australians as well as other forces, and it just builds that unit cohesion when we actually work together.
Staff Sergeant Dixon took time to talk to the cadets one-on-one. Lance Corporal Jacob Fisk was one of the cadets who spoke with Sergeant Dixon.
Oh, it's really cool. I love the accent. Yeah, it's good. Get lots of information out of them and just learn about different cultures from us.
Talisman Sabre helps build the bond between the Australian and U.S. forces for future contingency operations, as well as building an understanding for each other's cultures. Airman First Class Darren Murphy, Camp Rocky, Australia.
In the Navy, security is provided by Master at Arms. These specialists train constantly to ensure they can perform their duties using a variety of tools, even when one of those tools gets used on them.
The security force at Fleet Activities Sasebo goes through training on how to properly use the equipment they carry.
The weapons we're trained to use, besides the 9mm Beretta shotgun and the M4, they also train on using their batons, as well as using handcuffing, empty hand strikes, and an OC spray as well. Good to go? Yep. Any questions? You're going to receive a level 1 contamination.
OC spray stands for oleoresin capsicum, a stronger type of pepper spray. MAs have to come in contact with OC spray and then show that they are capable of performing their duties while contaminated.
We got to know how to administer, not only using it on suspects, but as well as helping them out. So how do we know how to do that? Well, we get OC'd ourselves.
After coming in contact, they have to utilize takedowns, empty hand strikes, and baton techniques, as well as a simulated apprehension of a threat.
Tell them what you want to do, verbal commands. Oh, you didn't think he was going to move, huh?
My role is to pretty much get beat up. The red man, just sit there and utilize as a training tool to try to make the situation as realistic as possible for the MAs going through the training.
Even with padding, Lopez says simulating getting detained is not the cushiest job.
The red man suit, getting beat down all day, it's taxing. It's definitely a good cardio session.
After the training is finished, MAs wash out their eyes and head back, knowing they can trust both the tools they depend on and their ability to act when sprayed. Seaman Andrew Dean, Fleet Activities, Sasebo, Japan.
Civil engineers at Yokota got a helping hand from some fighter jets from Misawa to help them test part of Yokota's aircraft landing system.
Recently, two Misawa Air Base F-16s had Yokota Air Base's flight line loud and busy during Bach 12 testing, also known as barrier testing. Civil engineers worked through intense heat and humidity while they set up the barriers, aided in the test runs, and stood by to remedy any damages sustained. Senior Airman Jonathan Riley, an electrical power technician from the 374th Civil Engineer Squadron, explains how the barriers work.
What happened was the F-16, it's called a high-speed taxi, so he starts at one end of the runway and powers up to the cable and catches the cable and pulls it out, which at the time, the Bach 12 will stop them safely.
With help from Yokota's fire department and transient alert, the testing went smoothly. Senior Airman Riley added, "This annual testing is one of the ways the safety of the pilot and the aircraft are ensured." Reporting from Yokota Air Base, Japan, I'm Airman First Class Brianne Scharnhorst.
The Fleet Logistics Center at Yokosuka is the Western Pacific region's largest Navy logistics command. The center operates facilities in more than 20 locations around the region, and its customer service is top-notch.
Good morning, NASDAQ FLC Yokosuka, Lieutenant Rivera, Customer Service Officer. How may I help you? Hey, Lieutenant Sprunk, how's everything going?
Going great, going great.
Wonderful. Hey, how was that last food order we got for you?
We got a lot of great stuff.
I do appreciate that. You know, a good analogy would be a good football team. The goal is trying to get the customer their order. So we're moving that order down the field from when we get that initial requisition, saying, hey, we need 40 gallons of ice cream and 400 pounds of steak, and we're moving that ball down the field, talking to vendors, avoiding roadblocks, saying, oh, we can't deliver on that day. No, we coordinate. And I'm sort of, Chief Ponder and I, we're sort of like the coaches trying to get our CSRs the help they need to get them in the right position to get that touchdown. A big important part of our job here is making sure the customers get their deliveries.
Coming up, hiking around Seoul. But first, let's take a look around the Pacific Command in today's snapshots.
An F-22 Raptor takes off after conducting a hot pit refueling at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska. USS Momsen fires its 5-inch lightweight gun during a gunnery exercise in support of Talisman Sabre 2013 in Australia. Sailors distribute stuffed animals to children at a community service event during Pacific Partnership 2013 on the island of Tarawa. And that's a look around the Pacific Command in today's Snapshots.
Seoul, Korea is one of the world's largest cities, and living there can be very intimidating for newly arrived Americans. Fortunately, there's one man in Seoul who helps others step out of their comfort zone while getting to know their way around the city.
It's known as the Hanam Hike. It's run by a military spouse who takes time from his own schedule to show others around the city.
I live here in Hanam Village and have a lot of neighbors that I noticed weren't getting out of the house. So I got a group of people one day that asked me to show them around, and we just went for a little walk. And next thing you knew, people started seeing our pictures on Facebook and online, and it's just grown from there.
One unique thing about the hike is that you will never see the same thing twice.
For instance, last week we went up to Namsan Park. We've done one to where we've gotten on the subway and went far side of town and took them to some palaces and fortress. Today I took them to a shopping district south of the river, so we try to change it up every week. We have a blast. You get to meet new people, see places you probably would have never gone to. It's exercise, social. It's a beautiful city. Get out there and see it.
Reporting from Seoul, Korea, I'm Army Sergeant Alan Brutus.
Soldiers are taught to band themselves together in the process of solving mutual problems and helping each other. That approach serves some soldiers well in getting through a warrior challenge.
Soldiers from all over the Korean Peninsula gathered at the K-16 Air Base Athletic Field to compete in the first K-16 Warrior Challenge Cup. 13 teams, including the Gamblers, joined the competition. The Gamblers participated in the challenge on behalf of K-16 HHC 22 Assault. For them, it was a great opportunity to exert teamwork not only within their unit, but also with other soldiers.
I participated today to show support for the community and to get all the soldiers involved. And it's a esprit de corps, so it brings everybody together within the battalion and the other units that are here.
The Gamblers started the competition by racing with sandbags and continued the course through several hard obstacles. Although they faced difficult challenges, the Gamblers strived for victory and finally set the fastest time, taking home the winning trophy, grand prizes, and a sense of accomplishment.
I think it's going to be the beginning of a long history of 2-2, showing everyone here in Korea how good we are.
The Warrior Challenge tested the Gamblers' strength and reminded them of the importance of working together.
It's a great team building thing. I'm actually new to HHC in 2-2, and this was a great opportunity for me to come out with some of my cohorts, get a little sweat together and do a little team bonding.
Army Sergeant Keith Burghardt, K-16 Air Base, Korea.
It's not often military members get to see the awesome force of an F-16 fighter jet up close, and it's even less likely for their family members to get that chance. Airman First Class Michael Kantak takes us to a range at Misawa where F-16s dropping bombs wowed community members.
A unique open-range event allowed the 35th Operations Support Squadron's airmen and their families to enjoy a day at Misawa's range.
I had numerous objectives to what we're calling Range Day. I wanted to bring the men and women of the 35th OSS up here to the range. Number one, to see one more piece of what it takes to make our wing combat mission ready and what drives our war machine that we call the 35th Fighter Wing. Secondly, I wanted to bring the families up here to see this as well, just another feather in their hat, if you will, of what it takes to make us combat mission ready. And when they say goodbye in the morning to the gentlemen and the ladies that fly these things, they know what they're going out to do.
I am an aircraft armament specialist, a weapons specialist. I work with the F-16s. I load bombs and I inspect bombs, all the munitions. And this is actually nice because I get to see what actually happens on the other side of my job.
I think being able to see what these guys do on all aspects come together in a small time, it makes us all proud. We don't get to see very much of what they do on a day in, day out basis, and so when you get to see it in action, it makes you feel good.
It's a morale booster. It's nice to see everybody smiling and having fun. Even the kids, they get to see what the jets get to do and how the bombs work and everything. It's a nice scene.
You know, just seeing the smiles on faces, hearing the sound of freedom fly by, and seeing the BDU-33s, the weapons come off and hit the targets. It's awesome.
Airman First Class Michael Kantak, Misawa Air Base, Japan.
That's it for this news break. From all of us here at AFM Pacific, thanks for watching.